Welcome to the TaiyangNews Solar Leadership Conversations 2025 from Shanghai at SNEC, the world's largest solar trade show. My name is Michael Schmela. I'm the Managing Director of TaiyangNews All About Solar, and I'm very happy to have with me Jimmy Chu, the President of Huasun Solar, the world's leading technology company in the field of HJT. Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you again after 1 year.
Yes, a lot has happened last year, so
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that. So let's talk about this 1 year, because the situation has been challenging already when we met last year, and unfortunately it hasn't improved for the industry. The market continued to grow. Actually, it has been grown quite a bit, but we still had quite a bit of overcapacity, and we still have that. Prices continued its way down, and it has been a very challenging year for the industry. So how has Huasun been managing this situation?
Over the past year, we have seen a major shift in the solar market. Capacity has surged beyond demand, prices have dropped sharply, and we are facing an unprecedented oversupply. But I believe this also presents an opportunity, because solar technology is advancing rapidly. These breakthroughs are our best way to overcome today's challenges. From my perspective as a tech professional, the big changes in the solar market over the past year isn't really a crisis. They are a transformation. We are shifting from an era dominated by scale to one driven by technology and superior energy generation products. And those who adapt quickest to the new age will be the ones who thrive. Thanks to ongoing technological innovation, even in an era that was once dominated by PERC and is now shifting toward other mainstream technologies, Huasun's HJT technology has achieved significant growth. In 2024, our shipments doubled compared to 2023, and we expect shipment volumes to double again in 2025. I believe this underscores Huasun's ability to survive and thrive, because we rely on continued tech innovation to sustain our business.
Okay, so that's what you mentioned. You reached a cumulative capacity of 10 gigawatt end of last year. You shipped 6 gigawatts in 2024, and so that was considerable growth. And now you're saying you will increase again. On the other hand, of course, you see several companies that are much bigger. And if you look at economies of scales, how can you compete with these companies in this regard?
That's an excellent question. It's true that Huasun is smaller than some of the major industry leaders, but our edge lies in technological innovation, boosting efficiency and cutting costs. First, we make history as the world's first manufacturer to ship 700W modules, followed by 730 watts. And we are gearing up to launch 750 watts and higher power modules. We consistently deliver the highest efficiency products in the market. Second, we lead the industry in mass production breakthroughs. We were the first company to scale 100-micron wafers, the first to adopt silver-coated copper paste in production, and the first to introduce copper-based metallization at scale. Over the past few years, we have driven countless innovations to raise efficiency and lower cost. We also vertically integrated from wafer drawing to cell and module assembly, consolidating 4 key production steps to streamline our costs. Finally, we established a collaborative HJT innovation platform, or the club, in the past 2 years. Through this alliance, we joined forces with partners to reduce supply chain costs and enhance technological development. That's how, with under 20 gigawatts of capacity, while the entire HJT industry hovers below 30 gigawatts, Huasun achieves top quartile production costs. And this year, we expect to reach parity, thanks to our collective innovation and cost optimization strategy.
Okay, so if we stay at technology, you are, and that's really impressive, a leader also not only about highest power ratings for modules, but also for efficiencies. So according to our TaiyangNews top solar module table, you've been leading heterojunction module efficiency, commercial module efficiencies for quite a while, and this is even more impressive when you look at these other big companies who are much bigger than yours. So that you are really also leading in R&D. What's your secret in R&D? Because I think originally you also bought sort of a turnkey HJT line, and then you started delving deep into this technology.
So, how do we maintain our leadership in HJT technology? First, we have a technology-driven leadership team. Our entire management deeply understands HJT. Starting with my own telco background, from day one, we set an ambitious goal: produce the world's best PV product with top efficiency, lowest cost, strongest reliability, and minimum carbon footprint. We define clear targets for each of these 4 pillars and laid out a vigorous multi-year R&D roadmap to stay ahead. Secondly, even as a startup company, we prioritize innovation. With over 400 R&D professionals across production and R&D centers, we consistently invest more than 5% of our revenue into R&D. Thirdly, we pioneered the first ever HJT collaborative innovation platform, bringing in OEMs, material and equipment suppliers, universities, and research institutes to conduct joint trials at Huasun. Over the past 4 years, nearly all breakthroughs, including new devices, materials, processes, and concepts, have been validated here. This open innovation ecosystem ensures we lead the industry together. By combining a visionary leadership team, steady R&D investment, and collaborative innovation, Huasun remains firmly ahead in HJT technology.
Okay, and I think what was interesting is that it's a topic of innovation. Obviously, it's not only high efficiencies, but it's also innovation when it comes to applications. So what I found very interesting is that in Munich, the Smarter E Intersolar Europe last month, You revealed some interesting product innovations on your zero BB architecture. So you had this ultra high bifaciality 100% Coulomb series, which is optimized for vertical and agri PV projects, and which was also a finalist for the Smarter E Awards. How do you see the potential of vertical PV?
Last October, I posted in my WeChat Moments that the vertical solar PV market will become the largest in the future. Back then, few believed it, but now many do. First, let's look at Europe. If just 1% of agricultural land in Europe were used for PV installation, that would amount to over 1,000 gigawatts, more than the total installations in the past 20 years, and China's potential is even greater. Why are vertical installations so compelling? First, with installations growing rapidly in Europe and China, daytime solar supply often leads to zero or even negative prices at land. Starting this year, China's solar power market has transitioned to market-based electricity trading, further pressuring midday prices. Vertical systems avoid the midday generation peak and instead shift generation to mornings and evenings, aligning with peak usage hours and higher prices, improving profitability. Secondly, vertical installations open up new value in agriculture and transport. They enhance farming revenue while complementing electrified transport, making them a smart dual-user solution. That's why we believe vertical PV will be massive in both Europe and China. Over the past 2 years, we have invested heavily in R&D to support this vision. We have launched HJT models with 100% bifaciality and adopted our zero BB technology. These are engineered to maximize energy use at minimal cost, perfectly aligned with current market demands.
Okay, let's also talk about your view on agri-PV, a segment that has gigantic potential as it enables farmers not only to harvest food but also power. And you recently grid connected the 100 megawatt agri-PV project in Shandong province, and you also signed a partner agreement with Next to Sun during Intersolar. So what are your business expectations for this huge untapped potential of agri-PV?
I believe that if Huasun's bifacial HJT modules are deployed in Chinese agriculture, they could significantly boost rural incomes. On average, Chinese farmers earn about 1,200 RMB per mu from traditional crops. But by installing roughly 25 kilowatts of our modules per mu, they could generate about 30,000 kilowatt hours annually. Even at just 0.2 RMB per kilowatt hour, that's 6,000 RMB in asset-backed income, 5 times their current earnings.
This setup allows farmers to continue growing crops while dramatically increasing income, solving rural income challenges effectively. The same logic applies in Europe. Farmers there could similarly plant bifacial agrivoltaic modules alongside crops and realize much bigger revenue. That's why I see vertical bifacial modules as the perfect agrivoltaic solution, maximizing solar yield and addressing rural income simultaneously.
HJT is an interesting product as it is very versatile, making it attractive for the residential segment, but also for the utility segment. If you look at the different advantages, where do you think could score it highest? Where does it fit best?
Pardon?
So HAT has several advantages. So it has high efficiency. That's why it is very suitable for rooftop installations. But it has also a leading bifaciality, which makes it very good for utility scale applications. So where do you think is the best market segment, or where can it play out its advantages most?
There were two major advantages of HJT. First, because of its high bifacial gain, low temperature coefficients, and superior conversion efficiency, HJT modules deliver the lowest LCOE across all PV applications, from residential rooftops to commercial and utility-scale systems. This means customers get the best possible return on their investment. Second, not everyone notices this, but HJT modules have a significantly smaller embodied carbon footprint. Compared to conventional TOPCon modules, HJT can reduce carbon emissions by up to half. As solar deployment and production continue to scale, minimizing carbon footprint during both manufacturing and operation becomes increasingly important. In short, HJT excels both economically and environmentally, offering top-tier cost efficiency and sustainability in today's solar market.
Okay, so let's maybe look a little bit to the next generation. All companies are trying to differentiate, and many of them are working now on tandem technology. Recently, Huasun also exhibited a prototype of a full-size HJT perovskite tandem module with 800 watts. Can you shine some light on your perovskite activities? Are you working on perovskite itself also in-house, or only on the tandem project and product? And when will we see such product available in the market? And what are the obstacles you have to solve by then?
We have 3 labs in Shenzhen. The first one is a perovskite tandem lab.
Okay.
The second one is a 1 megawatt tri-line.
Okay.
The third one is 100 megawatt pilot line.
Okay.
Right now, our 100 megawatt pilot line is running. We can produce the tandem cell and module continually. And so this year, and we will ship out some tri-module and to our customer to outdoor testing. But we think that we won't sell it directly. We think we still need some time and to do the fully testing on the reliability and the repeatability. So only after 2 years outdoor testing, before we convince it's a safe and a perfect product, then we will sell it to a customer. I think that will be around the year 27 or 28. We can sell in the tandem module with the gigawatt level. That's our timeline.
Super, which would be still earlier. So a lot of people are thinking about 2030 or later. So if you come out in 2028, that
2028.
would be early. Okay, super. Okay, so maybe final question. So if we see each other again next year at SNEC, so how do you think, if you look into the crystal ball, how do you think the market will have changed, the market environment, and what will have changed at Huasun?
First, we will provide the higher efficiency module to the world. And after 12 months, we think we can provide 760 watt module to the world, even higher.
Wow.
Close to 25%. And this is the first one. The second one, we think the vertical application will be larger and larger, maybe go to gigawatt level for vertical application. And the third one is that we see that we will see a trend for globally to accept HJT more and more, and a lot produced in China. We see a lot of HJT factories are built all over the world, from the Europe to Turkey to India and American. More and more HJT fab are under construction, and I think Huasun we will find some way to find more partners in the world to making our product and technology can be used in more and more countries. Okay. And the last one, I think after 1 year from now on, I think solar will become stronger, and I think maybe some companies will disappear in the next 12 months, but the left will be stronger and stronger, and the solar future will be better.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you.
Thank you.